right? Then in 1971 we have the setup of Mauritius College of the Air, which is still there and is considered as the tertiary education institutions. And now they have been instrumental in having courses in the tertiary education sector. Now they are working with international organizations and also with the 2 universities in Mauritius offering their programs on distance education mode. Well, the growth has been very timid initially, but with the establishment of the Commission in 1988 and in the 90s, we started promoting some programs together with the MCA and the Mauritius Institute of Education, basically limited to teacher education programs. And we invited University of Napier, University of, Edith Cowan and Dickens to come and offer programs locally on business mode for our teachers, and it was an in-service program. And then we published around the early 90s a code of practice for providers and also a guideline for prospective students of the programs offered by local university institutions, so that they are not taken for a ride. Basically, most of the programs offered are in soft areas, in niche areas, and the institutions involved are the Mauritius College of the Air, the University of Mauritius, and the MIE, and lately the University of Technology Mauritius also. And most of the private providers offer programs on the D mode. Enrollment in ODL programs amount to about 20 to 30% in the tertiary education sector. And now we are thinking, the bill has already been passed by the Parliament. We are waiting for the assent of the President to create an open university. In fact, we have already identified somebody who will be assuming office most probably at the beginning or in the month of January as a coordinator, so that he puts everything in place for the institution to start operating early next year. Since I said that the distance education is basically on the tertiary education sector, I will just present you with a brief landscape of tertiary education in Mauritius. We have 2 types of institutions, publicly and private institutions. We have a total of 9 publicly funded institutions with 2 universities and 46 private institutions. There are on offer more than 550 programs, and the expenditure, public and private together, is about 6 billion rupees. We had a regulatory framework only for public institutions up to 2005, but with the mushrooming of so many private institutions, we started regulating the activities of private institutions also in 2005, and the Act was amended in 2007. Basically, the framework includes approval for setting up, registration, accreditation of programs, and the quality assurance and audit. This is just to give you an evolution of enrollment rate in Mauritius. Maybe it's not clear at the back. I've taken the figures from 2000 to 2007. We started with an enrollment of, say, 16,000, which represented a gross tertiary education enrollment rate of 15% in 2000. And now it's about 37% as pointed out by the Minister. My last figure is estimate. It's about 36% there, but the exact figure is known now. It's about 37.3%. And you will see the pink one, the enrollment in terms of the second curve from below is the enrollment in terms of for distance education, which has grown from 5,000 in 2000 to almost 10,000 in 2007, representing about 25% of the gross enrollment rate. Now, why we have to go for quality assurance, more so for distance education programs, is because some of the reasons here, right? Government can no longer finance education, especially tertiary education. It's no longer the hegemony of the state. The demand is increasing at the same time, and the emergence of the private sector resulting from global expansion and because we have a lot of transnational providers in the system. Education is becoming a business. It's almost off the shelf, and people are being taken for a ride. We know there are, in the last publication of OECD, there are 800 fake universities operating and things like that. The new modes of teaching and learning, especially in distance education, and a lot of reforms have also been taking place in financing, where the shifting from the state to the students' households, there is more and more institutions are being called to go for income diversification and cost recovery. Even in Mauritius, we just have 2 new schemes that have come up. One is the scholarship scheme and bursaries and student loans, and also the new latest development is human capital contracts, which is now being something where people are looking for and to employ students and pay part of the income, they place part of the income towards the employer in consideration for higher education.